Today we're going to factorize trinomials. And what's a trinomial? It's a three-term expression, highest power 2. Okay, so in particular we're going to look at techniques to factorize monic trinomials. Okay, now what's a monic trinomial? Well, monic means mono, which is 1. That means the coefficient here of the x squared term is going to be 1. Okay, now I know maybe you've looked down at there and seen a 3 there. All right, wait a sec. Non-monic trinomials, though, are instances where we've got a is not equal to 1, it's something else. Now, there's a technique that we use to do this called grouping 2 and 2, okay? We're going to use that. So you were taught that last year, okay? So we're going to just do a sort of a brush up on that before we hit a different method to factorize that we're going to use in year 10. All right, so step 1, factorize out a highest common factor if one exists. Find the value of a times c. Find the factor pair of a times c that will sum to b. That can be used to split the term bx. Use the grouping 2 and 2 method to factorize. All right, so here goes. All right, so there's no highest common factor, so I'm ready to proceed with an attempt to factorize. So how are we going to do this? Our target number is 15, okay? And what I've got to do is think of a factor pair that multiply together to equal 15, that when added or subtracted will equal 8. All right, so our factor pair, I believe, is going to be 5 times 3. All right, now to add them, they've both got to be positive, okay, to get to 8x. So I'm going to rewrite this now as x squared plus 5x plus, not 8x, plus 3x plus 15. Now what's changed between this line and this line here? Nothing. 8x has just simply been rewritten as 5x plus 3x. So what's the point? Well, now we've got these 4 terms here. What I'm going to do is split them in half. And I'm going to think about these 2 terms here and these 2 terms here. All right, so I'm going to factorize these terms on the left of this kind of split line here. So I'm going to yank x out as a common factor and say that this is x plus 5. Right, so x by x gives us x squared, x by 5 gives us 5x. Now what I'm going to do is concentrate on this right-hand side. So the factor I'm going to pull out is 3. In particular, it's positive 3 this time. All right, 3 multiplied by what gives us 3x? The answer is x. 3 multiplied by what gives us 15? The answer is 5. Now, if you've done this correctly, in these early stages anyway, what will happen is you'll note that we've got a repeated binomial, okay, or a 2-term factor. So what we're going to do is pull out x plus 5 as a common factor. Now x plus 5 multiplied by what will give me this? The answer is x. So x plus 5 multiplied by x gives us that. X plus 5 multiplied by what will give us this? It's 3. And now we're factorized. You can check that quite easily on your calculator. So a reminder, we go to action, transformation, factor, and let's use R factor for this. Type in your expression, x plus 5, x plus 3. No, type in your other expression. I've typed in a factorized expression. That's smart. X squared plus 8x plus 15. And there it is, it factorizes it for you. So again, I'd love you to be checking your work using the calculator rather than the answers in the back of the book. All right, so for this problem here, what I'm first going to do is note that 3 goes into all of these, or as a factor of all of these terms. So let's pull it out. X squared plus 3x, take 10. And now what I'm going to do is just focus my attention on the trinomial inside the bracket. So I'm just going to factorize that. My target number is negative 10, found by doing 1 times negative 10. All right, now what's it going to be? Well, I can clearly see that it's 5 times 2. Now I need to make negative 10, which means one of these has to be negative. Now which one is it going to be? Well, I believe it's this one, because when I do 5 plus negative 2, 5 plus negative 2 will give me positive 3. All right, so I think that's the winning combination. I'm just going to rewrite it now and see. So I've got x squared plus 5x, take 2x, take 10. All right, now 5x take 2x is indeed 3x, so that's correct. Now let's attempt to factorize using the grouping 2 and 2 method. So I'm going to pull out x plus 5. Now over here, I'm going to take out negative 2 as a factor of negative 2x and negative 10x. That means I've got x and negative. This has to be a positive, and that has to be 5. Now again, note that if you've done that correctly, you'll get that repeated factor there. So let's go 3, pull out x plus 5, and x plus 5 multiplied by what gives me that? X plus 5 multiplied by what gives me that? It's negative 2, and there's our answer. Now some students at this point will multiply 3 into that. Don't do that. That's fully factorized. If you put the 3 back in there, it will actually kind of, in inverted commas, unfactorize this problem, okay? So don't do that. All right, this one here is what we call a non-monic trinomial, okay? So is this one here, okay? But let's attempt this one. So what we're going to do with this is go 4 times negative 15, which is negative 60. All right, so now what I have to do is think of things when multiplied together that equal 60. And I have to keep in mind that it's negative 4x is the term I'm trying to make when I add or subtract. So I think it's going to be or involve 10 times 6. Okay, I can just see that I'm after a negative 4. So my feeling is that this is going to give us it. Now, to make negative 60, one of these has to be negative, and I believe it's this one. Okay, because negative 10 plus 6 will give me negative 4. All right, so let's copy it in. 4x squared, take 10x plus 6x, take 15 is my rewritten trinomial. All right, so is this true? Negative 10x plus 6x equals negative 4x. That's good, they're equal. Right, so remember the process is what we do is we split them, and I'm going to pull out a factor from the left-hand side here, which is going to be 2x. This then is 2x. Take, what is it, 5, I think? 2x positive times a negative is a negative. 2 times 5 is 10 with an x. Yep, that's right. All right, let's see how we go on this right-hand side of that kind of cut line there. I'm going to take out 3 as a common factor. That's going to be 2x, and I'm feeling like this is a winner here. 3 multiplied by what gives me negative 15? I believe it's negative 5. Negative 5, negative 5, 2x, 2x. Yep, it's correct. All right, so take out your common factor of 2x, take 5. That multiplied by what will give me this? It's 2x. That multiplied by what will give me this? It's going to be plus 3. There we go. All right, this last one here is a tricky one. Okay, so here's a big suggestion. Okay, so we're going to try and take out a highest common factor. We can't. What I suggest you do is let's pull out the negative 1 to make this first term positive. It just makes life a hell of a lot easier for us. Okay, so this move is going to be a good one. You'll want to do this. 12x squared plus 5x take 3. Right, so all it does by taking the negative 1 out as a common factor is it reverses this, all of these signs, because negative multiplied by a positive is a negative, negative multiplied by a positive is a negative, negative multiplied by a negative is a positive. All right, now let's focus our attention on the trinomial here. I'm going to do 12 times negative 3, which is negative 36. All right, now factors that when multiplied together equal 5x. All right, well, there's 6 times 6. That can't be right. There is 18 times 2, but I can quickly see that my answer is 5x. They're not going to work either. All right, what's it going to be? 8? No, 8 doesn't even go into it. 4. 9 times 4. I think that's the winner. 9 4s are 36. Now, one of these has to be negative, and I believe it's this one here, because 9 take away 4 is equal to 5. All right, so now I go ahead, keep the brackets in, and rewrite it. Plus 9x, take 4x, take 3. reflect on what you've just done. That's 9x take away 4x. That does equal 5x. So I feel like this is going well. So let's stick the negative sign out there. Now let's split them into two separate groups, I suppose. And let's see what we can get out of this left-hand side here. We're going to pull out 3x as a common factor, 4x plus 3. Okay, over here what we're going to do is yank -1 out as a common factor, and what we're going to get is 4x plus 3. Alrighty, so negative. Let's go 4x plus 3 comes out as a common factor. 4x plus 3 multiplied by what will give me this? The answer is 3x. And 4x plus 3 multiplied by what will give me that? It's -1. And there's my answer. All right, so the set work, there's not a lot of it today compared to the other day. It's those questions there. Okay, so if you can go ahead and practice that technique there, that's fantastic because it'll get you all set for next lesson where we use what we call the cross method to factorize.